Today we have a super exciting one. I'm going to be showing you guys a full behind the scenes process of how we create a video out here, and towards the end of the video I'm going to show you what we managed to film and how it all works together once I've put an edit on it with some music, effects and all that good stuff. This one's going to be super raw and uncut. I'm not going to do any crazy editing for the behind the scenes of this because I feel it's the most effective way for you guys to learn, which is you almost just like sitting here watching and creating with us. We're going to be filming on the Hohem MT2. This gimbal is really cool. I've made a video about it before. It's really unique because it's tiny, but you can fly things like mirrorless cameras or big setups. I'm on the A7S III with a Sony 20mm f1.8, and you can also put things like smartphones on here. Super versatile gimbal, and I'm going to show you how we're going to take advantage of this gimbal to create some really unique and weird like shots of different things to flow into our transitions. So we're going to get started with our first shot. For shot one, we're going to do a nice pullback coming through this little like tunnel created by this branch going across, and it's going to be a really nice way to introduce our scene. It's going to be a lot of information for the viewer to take in on the first shot, having our subject, showing who they are and showing where they are. It's going to be a really nice establishing shot. I'm going to stay somewhat low because I want this like foreground stuff coming into my frame and rushing past, but I'm going to be looking slightly up at Ellie as well. Okay, and let's go. Okay, and just staying really stable as much as I can. Looking super cool, everything getting revealed into our shot. By putting the Hohem MT2 into POV mode, it's gonna give me the ability for the gimbal to follow exactly what I want it to do. And the shot idea for this, a little bit weird and a little crazy, and I think it's gonna be pretty difficult to coordinate. I wanna start a shot under the camera like this, and as Ellie lifts the camera to her face to take a photo, I'm gonna do like an orbit shot like this to above it and then wrap it back down. And to make it even trickier, when I am above it like this, Ellie's gonna load the top, and I think with a speed ramp effect, this is gonna give like a really unique, weird perspective. I don't think it's gonna take us too many tries. Ready? Yeah. Let me just make sure the focus locks on the camera and go. Okay. Super tricky shot, and honestly it took a lot of tries, but we got one that really worked super nicely. And I think one of the coolest things is as we're rotating around this way, you're getting all these crazy like sun flares shining right into the lens. Looks better than I even expected it would. Basically what I want to achieve in this is I want to create a parallax effect to really almost give the feeling of like slowing down time. I'm going to dip the music off and make it feel all crazy. And if you guys aren't sure what I'm talking about with the parallax effect, if you've ever seen one of those shots where the background kind of like shifts its perspective and like moves crazy and like kind of all changes the compression, that's what I want to achieve. And the one way that you can do this is by pushing in and zooming out, or vice versa, pulling back and zooming in, and you create that perspective. We're on a prime lens, so we're going to do it digitally by adding in some keyframes and zooming out when we actually push in here. The reason it's going to be difficult to create some coordination here is because I'm going to move in and Ellie's going to continue from her last shot by putting the camera up to her face and then take a photo. But as I come, then time's all going to slow down. She's going to take the photo, and then to transition into our next shot, as Ellie lowers the camera, I'm going to coordinate and go down with her. And all I need to do for my parallax to work is do my best to keep super nice and stable and come towards Ellie with her in the center of the frame. So up to the face, click, and down. Okay, our next shot is pretty straightforward, and because on that last one we did that like drop transition down, this one I'm going to start our frame by doing the same movement. So I'm going to use this little tree that we have right here to get some nice foreground, and I'm kind of going to drop down to Ellie like that and then walk along with her. And I need to transition out of this shot as well, because like I said, these shots are packed full of transitions. Super important, and I'm going to show you guys now, when you're filming side tracking shots like this, it's important not to walk like this when you guys are on gimbals. I see loads of people doing that, or something like this. But what you actually need to do is like get your body facing and walking normally, and you can keep your gimbal facing in a different direction. So if I was to walk like this, my shot is going to be much smoother than if I'm like doing something like this. Okay, ready, and go. Okay, our previous shot, we had that tree swiping in from the right-hand side of our frame like that. And what I'm gonna do now is I've put the MT2 back into POV mode so that I can tilt it around like this. And I'm gonna call this like a clock wipe transition or something like that to do with clocks, because what I'm gonna do is start my frame behind the bushes here, and as Ellie walks past, I'm gonna go up, show Ellie, and then dip back down. And I think it's gonna be cool. The one thing I'm gonna do is, could you stand just over here? I can get focus on you and then turn it back to manual focus, because I don't want it being focused on this stuff here. So do you wanna take a few steps back, and you can try from there and just walk normally. Okay, go. Okay, we are on to our final shot, and what I'm gonna do for this one is leave it in POV mode, and I'm gonna get this really cool like whip around transition. And the way that I'm gonna do this is I'm gonna start here, and as Ellie continues in her sequence of walking, I'm gonna shoot towards her, starting from the same angle that I did my clock tick. So I clock ticked around like this, right? Now I'm gonna start from this side again so that it will transition. I'm going clockwise the whole time. And as I come towards Ellie sideways like this and she walks past me, I'm just gonna wrap around, and if I can time it right, pull it back in the opposite direction, and that is gonna be our ending shot. Once I get like this to the end, I'm just gonna dip down into the ground to create like a fade out to black look. So go. Okay, although I did fall into the bush this time, it actually worked better with our transition because I like dipped it down into the tree. So that is going to be it for all of the shots that we need today. It was really nice and easy to shoot on the Hohem MT2. If you guys want to check it out, you can find much more about it in the description below as usual. But let's take a look at how all these shots actually work with one another when we edit it with some cool speed ramps, music, and other little effects to see how our transitions actually come together in an edit. So let's watch that. Okay, I hope you guys think that was cool. It was really fun shooting on here. Thanks to Ellie for helping us demonstrate all these shots. If you guys want to find out more about the MT2, check it out in the top of the description. Other than that, have fun.